What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Leon. This channel is all about CPA marketing, affiliate marketing and SEO traffic. So if you're into that type of thing, you may want to consider subscribing. And hey, if you like the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up on the end of it after watching it. Let's get into it. Now, before we even get into the video and the real sort of meat of the video, a lot of you may be asking exactly why am I building out niche sites, and you may have potentially subscribed to this channel purely on the basis of doing CPA marketing. So I've been doing CPA marketing, which is cost per action marketing, over the last, I don't know, maybe about a year or so. And my results have been up and down, up and down. So I've had some good months, some are better than others, of course. Now, obviously that's just business as a whole, but I've never really taken off with it. And I think that, obviously it's one of those business models that you need to fund a lot of money into because it's all focused on paid traffic. So I tend to really veer away from anything that I believe is quite passive in that sense. And I think I've done that throughout the whole sort of journey of my internet marketing journey so far. And the real reason for that is purely because I would say that I'm quite a hard worker. So I'm someone who gets in and I'll sort of graft really hard, yeah, and that's the way that I work. And I think that what the problem is I've always veered away from anything that seems quote unquote passive, because I think, oh, it's kind of easy, or it's not challenging enough, or it's just not the type of business model that I want to get into. But looking at it now, it's one of those things that I really understand when it comes to building out websites. And for the long term, in a sustainable sort of income way, then I think it's really beneficial, because not only are you actually building out something that's going to run on organic traffic from Google, but you're also going to have a sustainable, consistent growth inside of your website, providing that you do the right things. So I decided to go out and actually start veering in and looking into SEO and learning all about it and how I can actually obviously, get involved with it. So the advantage that I had getting involved with building out niche sites is the fact that I already knew how to build websites. So I was already doing that for clients and different things for my own sites and stuff like that. So I already had a big advantage of understanding exactly how WordPress worked. So all the different plugins and everything like that I already knew about. So anyway, I decided to go and purchase a course, and I got a bit excited. I went and bought 2 courses. So I got one from Franklin Hatchett, who many of you may know. His course is brilliant, and that's the one I'm currently going through. Now, the other course that I did buy sort of as a backup, but it's because these guys are so good. Now, this is called Income School. It's Project 24. Income School is their YouTube channel. You can go check them out. They're a really good SEO channel, and they're giving out real genuine information. And these guys are just building out niche sites and, really and truly just sort of building these things up and leaving them and just letting them snowball in growth. And providing you do things the right way, you can consistently compound the growth of your sort of organic traffic, and then it tends to plateau, but at the same time, obviously, you're going to bring in a consistent income, providing that you monetize it in the right way. And on these sites, you can put things like ebooks and, Amazon Associates and all different things. Many of you watching this may already know. So inside of this course that I took from Franklin Hatchett, he actually covers running paid ads, which he does at the moment, but he does affiliate marketing in a way where he just promotes things like software programs such as ClickFunnels. So you may have seen all the different marketers on Facebook promoting things like Builderall and ClickFunnels, and that's just purely not based on them wanting to you to use it as a landing page builder, but more for you to actually use it as an affiliate product. So what they're doing is basic multi-level marketing. So they're just purely getting people in so those people can get more people in, and not actually using the software for what it is supposed to do. Now, obviously people like Franklin Hatchett does actually use ClickFunnels as well, but obviously a majority of people who he's signing up and stuff like that are just on the seek to actually get someone else in so they can make more of a commission, which is great. That's fine, but I think it's more like a sort of short-term business model, because if you're relying purely on people to just sign up and stay signed up just on something that they don't even know about or might not even potentially care about, then it's not going to be a very sustainable income. Now, yes, it will get you like 10k a month or 20k a month in the short term, but for the long term, does it really make sense? And these are the real big questions that I had to ask myself. So I'm still running like CPA offers and whatnot, but now I'm thinking, you know what, like really and truly, I need to be looking out for the long term. And that's what I think niche sites can really do. When you're building out a niche site, it's for a specific search term and multiple different search terms that Google will rank you for. So you might be going for a certain search term, you optimize your website around that and try and obviously, you know, get as much traffic based on the search terms that you're looking for. But then Google's algorithm is so advanced and complex that it can pick up all the other keywords that is also associated with your website, and they'll also rank you for that. So obviously by the end of it, you might have only built out a 30-page website going for maybe about I don't know 100 keywords, and by the end of it you might be ranking for about 500 keywords, you know. So you can be bringing in a lot of traffic, and there's many different ways that you can actually monetize these niche sites. Now, when I look at a majority of people who also succeed highly online, a lot of them, if you backtrack their career, have started off with SEO. So that's one of the things that I think I never went down in the beginning. I jumped straight into paid traffic, and so many people do. Some people succeed, but I think it's a lot sort of more beneficial for you to get an understanding from the bottom up. I'm a strong believer in always starting from the bottom. So when you actually build up these sites, it's a lot more beneficial because you understand exactly how Google's algorithm works and how search engine optimization works. So even when you come on to making YouTube videos, you already understand it that way, keywords and tags and things like that. And on top of it, obviously you've also got a semi good experience in driving traffic to a certain page. So when you actually go into like paid advertising, for example, if you venture into just say, for example, Google AdWords or Bing ads, you've already got experience on exactly how to actually target certain keywords to drive traffic and convert that traffic. So you've already built up all the experience in actually getting someone to your page or site or whatever it is, and writing persuasively into converting them into a paying customer. Now, one of the biggest reasons for me with SEO and why it's so beneficial is because that type of traffic is the highest converting traffic, and any marketer, you know, who's totally honest with you will always tell you that. Paid traffic, when you think about it, is obviously putting an ad in front of someone at a time when they might not have wanted to see it. They might have a specific interest in certain things that you're promoting to them, but they didn't want to see it at that time. Now that's great. Obviously, if you're an experienced marketer, you can do that efficiently. But for people who are starting out, you might want to go down the route of actually getting traffic of where people are already committed to actually buying something. So people, when you're searching on Google, just say for example, like, and this is how your niche sites sort of go, yeah? Like for example, you might build a review website. So you might build a site of where it's actually helping people. So it's a helpful niche site. And it might be all about, like, take for example, I'm doing one on dogs at the moment, golden retrievers. I do sort of recommend you do it on something that you're interested in, because that way it can sort of go off track. But anyway, so if you do it on, just say for example, golden retrievers, what I'm doing, I've built up helpful articles for certain keywords of problems that people are searching for. So I solve those problems. So say for example, one of them are talking about how to actually make a golden retriever relax during the evenings because they've got so much energy, you know. So those dogs are really energetic. Now I've actually gone and researched different articles and, you know, different information online on exactly how to answer that question. So I've written like a 3,000 word article on exactly how to answer that question. Now I didn't actually write it out by hand. I actually use a voice typer and Google Docs, which is great. Highly recommended. So I highly recommend you use Google Docs if you're going to type out any long piece of content. But anyway, so what I actually did is build up an article to answer that question. So all those people who are coming onto that blog are going to read that article. It's going to answer their question, and then I'm referring them over to my other articles on my site. Now, some of those other articles are money posts. So obviously they've got affiliate links inside, or they might be sending them off to, like, you know, a different website of where they can get more information that's valuable to them. So they might potentially come back in future and use it again. Okay, so all these different things obviously are diverting and controlling traffic, and it's really giving you a basic level of understanding of the foundations of how to convert people into sales. And that is the complete difference, and I think it's a really good experience to get into at the beginning, purely because you don't have to spend that much money. So when you're going into paid ads, before you can even blink, you've got to spend at least like £5 a day. That's $100 a month. That's just purely on paid traffic. But then if you're doing paid traffic, you've got to learn how to do it. So you can't just do it. So you've got to have like a real big investment to actually go into it. And I personally couldn't say you could go into paid traffic without less than like $1,000 or something like that, $2,000. So a lot of people are not even at that benchmark, and they're trying to sort of scratch their way up there. So that's why I would definitely recommend SEO for anyone who's starting out online. And with these type of things, I mean, the only thing that I'm using with Franklin Hatchett's actual method in regards to expenses per month is a keyword tool. Now, the keyword tool I'm using is keysearch.co, and inside of that tool, it gives you everything. It even helps you to optimize YouTube videos, funny enough, but it actually focuses on, finding good keywords which have got a high search volume and are low in competition. So those are the type of words you want to be ranking for, and you want to really build up and rankings for those type of keywords. And then eventually, obviously, once you're ranking for them, you might start to rank for other keywords and bring in a ton of traffic. And the thing is, once you've got these sites ranking on Google, and your sites are not obviously, cheating the system in that sense, so you ain't got no PBNs and things like that might illegally ban your site, or you're not doing it in the wrong way if you are, then obviously at that time you're just making money on autopilot. So that's why they call it essentially printing money, and I was never the one for that type of easy path. But then when I think, my ultimate goal is to actually travel and move around and things like that, and now I'm having a child as well, so obviously, I've got to really think about what are the things I'm going to want to do in the future. And looking at the next 10-15 years, it's like, am I going to want to be like, non-stop grinding? Like, yes, I am going to be I'm going to want to be working, because I'm a worker. Like, I'm never going to stop working. I just can't see myself doing it. But obviously at the same time, if I was really looking at, the future in the next 10 years, it's like, what's more sustainable? A brand is always more sustainable than anything else. So all these short-term methods are great, but you need to be building your long-term brand, and I like the way Franklin Hatchett actually breaks everything down. It's really easy to understand. The course is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I would highly recommend it if you're going into any type of SEO. If you are getting involved in it, then the only thing that I can say to criticize the course is that he doesn't tell you how to actually write your articles. But if you got sort of half a brain, you can go and research that and just figure it out. There's plenty of different people who are giving you all that type of information completely free on YouTube and also on blogs as well. So if you want to find out how to actually write articles, then that's a good way of obviously just going out, finding it, and you can just research it. Now, one of the other ways that I actually found that's really useful for building out niche sites is if you're actually getting started with niche sites, but if you're getting started with that, then you would want to, the way you write your articles, you want to create something called like a hit list. And I took this from Income School, their YouTube channel. Like, you want to write out a list of different articles that you're going to be writing, because what happens is you get something called writer's block. So you get to a point where you just don't know what to write. Like, you sort of get stuck, like when you're in school and you're just writing an essay and you get stuck with the essay. That's exactly what happens. So a good way of avoiding that is by having it already written out exactly what articles you're going to be covering. So that will cover the topics. But when you go into each topic, you want to then create subheadings for each part of the articles that you're going to obviously discuss. So a great way of doing that is by answering the what's, when's, how's, and where's, and whatever else, all those type of questions. So if you're going to write an article about, say, for example, I don't know, like if I use it for my example, like dogs sleeping, how do you dogs sleeping for longer periods of time? I don't know, I'm just using a stupid example. So you might say, when should you implement this technique? How should you implement this technique? Do you need anyone else to help you? Can this be implemented in any environment? All these different types of questions you might just potentially obviously ask yourself if you are reading that article. So you really need to think of it from the reader's perspective. Now, this is another skill set that I can say is really beneficial, because even when you're writing out ads and landing pages, you always need to think about the customer or the person looking at your landing page when you're doing CPA marketing. So obviously, you need to be asking yourself, what is this person going to ask to, you know, what can I answer for them to sort of reconfirm to them that this is a genuine product and it's highly recommended and they need it and things like that. So I think it's really good to understand essential copywriting as a whole, and also obviously to give you a real foundational level to make an income like on a consistent passive basis, to then go into paid ads and things like that, you know. And once you obviously build up these niche sites, it's like you're making money on autopilot, exactly like what I was saying before, you know. So I think it's really good. It's definitely the way I'm going to be going over the next year or so. I never really looked at it, and I heard OD Productions, you know, talking about it all the time, building out niche sites. That's what he does. But there's a difference between niche sites and authority sites, obviously, as we know. But yeah, he's always talking about building out sites. And then you've also got obviously people like Alex Becker. So he's like one of the moguls obviously in the marketing industry. And you know, Alex Becker started off with SEO. So he started off ranking sites and selling affiliate products on it. And then he went into client SEO. So that's my next step, is like once I've obviously, you know, ranked a few sites on Google and I've got some hardcore evidence to produce for a business, then I can obviously go into local businesses, things like chiropractors, doctors, ones who are obviously getting a good return on investment for one customer coming into their business. And then I can obviously, you know, market to them my SEO services. So that's client SEO. So I could potentially go in and speak to whoever runs the actual establishment and get them on a monthly contract of where I'm making monthly residual income by just ranking them on Google. And you already know, if you can master SEO or master any one traffic source, then you're going to become an asset to any type of business out there. And a lot of these sort of, you know, established businesses don't understand things like SEO and social media marketing, which leaves that big gap in there for us marketers to really squeeze in and get some money out of it and make a good income, you know. So anyway, guys, that is exactly where this channel is projected over the 2018 coming into 2019. If you're into SEO and you found this video, welcome to the channel.